I have this character named Samurai Cholo, and when I was a child, I did try to do my own spin-off of the Cholo humor, but since I'm part Asian, I just try to do like a little like Fu from the East type of feel, you know? Because it's okay to, like, since they're doing a Cholo character, it's okay that I do a Cholo character as long as it's unique to me. That's what matters, and it's not like I'm trying to be exactly like them. I just want to do my own spin on the subculture of being a funny Cholo. Yeah.
Welcome to the My SGV podcast. Our mission is to capture and share the stories of the people of the San Gabriel Valley. We believe our diversity is what makes the SGV great. And no matter where you're from in the San Gabriel Valley, you will feel welcome.
All right, SGVers, welcome back to another episode of the My SGV podcast. Thank you for tuning in. If you are new here, we bring you the stories of the people of the San Gabriel Valley. And if you are a returning listener, thank you for spending this time with us. We do appreciate it. Well, Scott, are you an introvert, an extrovert, or an ambivert? I'm having difficulty saying it because I've only learned this term today.
Now that I know that there is such a thing as an ambivert, I'll bet you that's what I am. There are times when I feel I can really go out in public and perform, you know, but not always, and usually not, right? But then there's other ways that I have heard introverts and extroverts defined as, like, where do you get your energy?
Yes.
So, you know, I'm not sure. But, yeah, I'm probably a mix. What do you think of yourself?
Myself? Well, by that definition of how I get energy, I definitely feel drained the longer I am by myself.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I feel very drained, and I feel rejuvenated in the presence of other people. So much so that, like, I'll go seek it out. So you know that I'm often by myself here, right? So if I'm spending a lot of time by myself, I'll just go to the market because I can recharge just by being around people.
Just being around people, but not necessarily talking or interacting or performing for?
Just being in the presence of. I mean, if I'm engaging with somebody, that I know, it's even better, right? Like, this is very rejuvenating for me. And the most intense times that I can remember that I would feel were like at a USC football game or like a NBA playoff game where it was so intense and there were thousands of people, and I would feel supercharged, and I remember that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, if that's the way to describe it, where do you get energy? I mean, I like people around me. It doesn't mean I like to always perform for them, talk to them, but to be around them. I mean, to be in the heart of New York City, is my, biggest thrill,
sure.
Right? So, so maybe I'm an extrovert if that's the way you describe it.
But you often do like to be alone, though, right?
I mostly am alone. I mean, I spend days and days, not even sometimes talking to other people.
Yeah, that always cautions you that, like, it's probably not healthy that, to enrich your life with more connection with relationship.
Yeah, right.
I think that will benefit everybody, but I want to get into today's guest, but before that, thank you to Paris Baguette for supplying these delicious treats behind us. If you haven't already, go check them out in San Gabriel. Paris Baguette, treats, cakes, all the delicious stuff that we have to resist every week. Well, let me get into today's guest. Today we have a guest who embodies the fusion of athleticism, creativity, and boundless optimism. His journey is a testament to the transformative power of passion and perseverance. From dominating the golf course in high school to fearlessly venturing into the world of skateboarding during the pandemic, his commitment to pushing boundaries knows no bounds. In the face of adversity, he seized the opportunity to dive headfirst into the realm of social media, showcasing an innate flair for creativity through captivating video content. His infectious enthusiasm and willingness to embrace new challenges have propelled him to new heights, inspiring countless others along the way. Now on a mission to spread joy and laughter through a satire comedy interview show, drawing inspiration from comedic legends like Gabriel Iglesias, Eric Andre, and Zach Galifianakis. His blend of humor and wit promises to leave audiences reeling while offering a refreshing take on the world of entertainment. Join me in welcoming today's guest, Diego Lojero, to the show. Diego, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Just to let you know, I had ChatGPT help me write that.
Oh, really? Oh, is that
I gotta
right?
be quite frank with you. Yeah, I was just like, bio. Let me have AI help me.
Well, I wrote this from your bio, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, welcome, Diego.
Thank you.
Is that all you? Does that accurately describe you?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I said in the bio, I've played golf all my life. As a child, as a little baby, as when I can remember, my
As a little
father,
baby.
yeah, my father placed a golf club into my hands, and every day as a child, like golf course, and it was always very hard training from my dad, which he was always my coach, and
So are you still golfing?
no, it's mixed emotions with golfing in my life, but I still like the sport, but I don't play at a competitive level. I played as a child to play to like the college level, but then I decided not to do so because that's what wasn't in my heart at the time, and now of course too. But every day golf, or I was doing martial arts. I did martial arts for 10 years of my life too, when I was 6 years old, and I stopped when I was almost 16, so about 10 years. But every day as a child, I was either playing golf or I was doing martial arts. And as a kid, I was a true boy. Like for fun, after school, me and my cousin would hang out for the play video games. And then we would do the most like stupid things as kids. Like I remember actually, like nowadays kids are iPad kids, and that sucks. But when I feel like I was the last like group of Gen Z people that were like actually like enjoying the outdoors and playing with their friends and their neighbors and their family members, of course. But I remember me and my cousin would do stupid stuff like shooting a wasp nest with a pellet gun and just like running away from all the aggravated wasps and just like enjoying my childhood. But it was mainly that I was an athlete first. Student, of course, I was a student first with the athleticism. I was a student athlete. But I felt like athleticism was always pushed first on the agenda because I wasn't the best at school. I remember going to Kumon a lot, and Kumon was so bad.
As punishment or like to prepare you?
Both.
I would feel like that's punishment, man. I wouldn't want to go to school after school.
No, I remember I just had a hard time absorbing information, and I didn't learn until like later like a couple years ago, like the doctor said, oh, everybody has ADHD nowadays. But when I was a kid, I definitely had some proficient ADHD because I wasn't really absorbing much as a kid. And I remember going to a lot of like Kumon after school, like reinforcement tutoring to help me get through school, definitely.
Well, Diego, we want to get into your whole story, but let's start at the beginning. What's your connection to the San Gabriel Valley?
So, let me get into detailed family history. So my dad's side is from Mexico, and they came down here to move to LA originally. And then they heard about like cheaper property in Pomona. And so my grandparents moved to Pomona, and my dad's born and raised in Pomona. I am as well, proud of it. And my mom's side, my mom was actually born in Hollywood, but my grandpa is from the South, and my grandma is from Monterey Park. Yeah, my great-grandparents, I'm sorry to get all, like, split into the, like, different roots of family history. I know it gets, like, confusing, but my Japanese side came from the Japanese internment camps to Monterey Park. So my family is from Pomona and LA area and Monterey Park. But I do remember just growing up, like playing golf throughout all the golf courses and golf centers throughout SGV. And also just having a fun time, like going to all the great restaurants out here. and having definitely every Christmas at my grandparents' house
in Monterey Park.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're half Japanese? Or?
No, I'm a quarter Japanese.
Oh, a quarter.
Yeah, my mom is half black, half Japanese.
Oh, so you're 3 major ethnic groups.
Yeah,
huh?
like once you use the square root and all that stuff, I know it gets like I had to do a lot of explaining, and it kind of sucks because as a kid it was an insecurity, definitely, because it's like, oh, I had to always prove myself or always have knowledge about like the food of the culture, not necessarily like the true language or like how to speak like a true like East LA Chicano, you know.
I remember like trying to figure out the connection with the SGV. You said you had spent a lot of time going back and forth to that area, and then I watched your stuff on social media, and you're sort of playing with these identities, right?
Yeah. I definitely would say like as a child, even now, I mess around with like whenever me and my mom have time to like sit down and eat, I'll like try to impersonate certain people or do different like cultural accents, like whether it's like the kind of like Cholo-esque or just like LA inspired Chicano accent, because like to be honest, like that the LA culture just gravitates down to the Inland Empire. It's basically the same thing. So just like adapting those things and just growing up around it, I would just always just try to either impersonate or just play around with different voices. And
how does your mother respond to that?
Not gonna lie, she really understands my humor now, but like I say a couple years ago and before that as a kid, she would just say like, oh, you need to calm down. But I'm very like satire, dark humor, so like we just play around with each other now, whether it's just poking at one another. But she understands my humor now, definitely.
Where do you present your humor mostly? Is it in Instagram or?
Yes, Instagram.
Okay.
Like purely Instagram. I do post full-length videos on YouTube, but I really push on Instagram, definitely. Yeah.
So mostly Reels or?
Yeah, that's where it's at. Reels. That's just the power of social media that I love so much, because I'm a business student at Cal Poly Pomona, and I do computer information systems as my major. But like it's just dealing with like e-commerce, and just like social media is a part of that, and it's social media is very powerful, and just me learning how to utilize social media in a way to brand myself and kind of do strategic things like post 3 times a week, use certain hashtags, make sure you're pinning a location on a post. Those certain things, kind of as being my own entrepreneur, I guess, to put myself out there is something that I love about social media.
Are you a student now?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm a sophomore at Cal Poly Pomona.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Diego, I grew up as a mixed race person in the San Gabriel Valley, right? It wasn't, I don't think that I experienced much difficulty with that, only internally, like where do I belong, right? Mm-hmm. But you said you encountered like that, like having to prove yourself. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the thing, well, I mean, I don't really look black or Asian really much, but everybody
I can tell that you're Asian and Latino.
Well, yeah, most people,
I think
they
so.
think I'm sometimes Filipino at times, maybe, but mostly they're just like, oh, Diego, he's Mexican or Latino. But if one thing that I do remember is that in high school, I got invited to, during Black History Month, the counselor called me up from classroom and they said, oh, do you want to go to like this all-male African-American success event? And they had different workshops there. And I got invited. I was surprised because on my demographics, it just said like Latino, Asian Pacific Islander, and then it said African-American. And then I guess I met the requirements because African-American was on my demographics. But I was like, okay, this is cool. So I went to the field trip, and then everybody, all the workshop people were calling me Brother Diego. And I was like, this is different. Like, no one has called me Brother Diego that many times. And not till later in the event when it finished, or towards the end of finishing, there's a raffle. And then I ended up winning one of the raffle prizes, and I had to walk up. And there's probably like 300 students there, and then a bunch of chaperones, of course. And then I remember walking up, as soon as I stood up, all the kids, or about all of them, were booing me, saying like, you don't belong here, or you're not black, you shouldn't be here. And it was just like, that was definitely like a moment that just like stuck in my head. Not that it's like, I guess it's a form of like a traumatic moment, of course, but it's not like I had it like horrible in life, of course, but that was definitely a memory that stuck to me. And I remember it very vividly now. And I was looking around, like, the chaperones didn't do anything. And I was just like, dang. Oh, of course, even own ethnic groups can be racist towards their own group, of course. But that was definitely something that settled in my heart and memory. But that's just one moment. There's other moments, like playing golf. I played with a lot of Asian Americans and Caucasian as well. It was mostly Asian demographic when I played golf. I remember people just, like, I did a golf tournament one time, and then one person, I introduced myself, and they're like, oh, your name is Juan, right? Like trying to play off a joke, but it was just such a bad joke. Like, just people just assuming certain things about me, or just saying I'm not enough. Mainly that I'm not enough of something, because I understand I don't really look at most people, but it definitely caused a lot of internal insecurities, to where in high school it kind of felt like a race prison war, in the sense, not to joke, but like I was trying to like choose different sides to see what I like fit into. And I tried to hang out with the Mexican kids. They're like, I couldn't really understand fully their lingo and like all of their interests, like into like Mexican music or Latino music. I didn't really resonate with that too much. And when I tried to like fully hang out with like the Asian kids, that was like more when I was playing golf, and I didn't really relate to most things with them. And then I played a lot of basketball during high school, and I was hanging out with mainly black kids. And then it was the same situation. You're not enough, you know? I remember I tried to fit in, and then they're like, Diego, you can probably wear a do-rag and try I don't know if you guys know what 360 waves are. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's when you lay your hair down and you try to stretch out your curls, and it basically makes like a little ripple effect.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I was like, dang, these genetics aren't working over here, because I tried to like put curling cream. I mean, I got like 2 little ripples, but that was just an example of me trying to like fit in. And I tried to like brush my hair for like 2 months, and I got like 2 ripples, but I was just like, dang, this is like a still body of water right here. But
what do you do when you don't fit in like that?
When I was a kid, and even like, I'd say now I'm not necessarily completely over it. It's still a slight insecurity, but I was very pessimistic as a child to my early teenage years. I didn't really have much of a way of coping. I just kind of just held it all in, and it's definitely not a good way to treat your overall well-being. And
why would you think you're over it now? I mean, do you feel you're over it now? I think that's what you just said.
Yeah, so I just look at it like we're all people, and I don't need to fit into a certain group of people. I respect all my cultures and I love them. But yeah, I just feel like at the end of the day, I know it's vague, but we're all people, and I don't need to fit into a certain group or feel like I need to, because at the end of the day, I am who I am, And I just love meeting and listening to other people's stories, no matter what culture they are. And I feel more at peace now. I did have my own arc of not trying. I still meditate to this day, and things like meditation and really helped me with my mental health. And I still practice those things till today. Like this on the car ride over here, I used to have so much like social anxiety, like so bad. Like I remember in high school, I would legit have like facial spasms of like being so nervous, and I would end conversations so fast. And things like meditation would help. And like I remember if I were 16, 17 years old now, I would be like melting down at this moment. But things like meditation, even when I walked in here, I was mildly nervous, but just bringing myself into this present moment and saying, or having the control of saying you're okay and that you can be yourself. And if people don't agree with it, they don't agree with it, and that's okay. As long as you treat them with respect, that's all that matters.
That's okay. I was nervous to meet you. So.
I thought you were gonna see all the flames on my hair or like eyeballs.
I was looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, I got some skin problems. I abused my scalp with bleach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In a recent newsletter, I wrote about belonging and fitting in, and I actually got that from Brene Brown. She's a researcher, but also an author and a speaker. And she says that the opposite of belonging is not exclusion, but the opposite of belonging is fitting in. Because belonging is like you're accepted for who you are in a group, and fitting in is changing who you are to fit what the group wants, right? I was like, wow, that's so fascinating, right? Like, I don't want to fit in. I want to belong. I just want to belong and be who I am, no matter what people may want me to be. So thanks for sharing that. That's quite the story there. I just want to say, as well, Scott, I think, has a real eye for creative talents. And when I showed him your stuff, like I think he saw that immediately in you. But I have an eye for athleticism. And when I check out your stuff, I'm like, okay, this guy could play. This guy's an athlete. Yeah, I can see.
You can tell?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I know I look like a skinny pocky stick, but trust me, like I got some footwork. And yeah.
I think I could take you down low, though, but because I got some weight on you.
Yeah, no, definitely everybody bodies me in the paint. Definitely.
But you got skill. I mean, I can tell you got skill and you're quick. Your footwork is good. Like all that I can see like right away watching him play.
Thank you.
Yeah. And now it makes sense that you did martial arts. I didn't know that before, but
I got some killer photos for you guys in a little bit. Yeah.
Wow. So that's quite a bit to deal with. And I remember I asked you when we spoke over Zoom, and I said, is that person on the show, is that you, or is that like this character that you create? And can you talk about that?
Like I said, when I talked to my mom over like eating, yeah, I'm doing all these different split personalities of myself. And when I record for that purpose of the show, that is, I would say, an amplified version of my like deadpan monotone self. And not all the time I'm monotone on that show, but I would say definitely that is me, but just amplified. That's all. Like, for example, the Eric Andre show, I'm pretty sure he's crazy. Wait, can I curse?
Yeah.
Okay, because I see all the other people not curse on this show. Yeah, but like Eric Andre is crazy as shit on cam, and he's probably a little less crazy as shit off the camera. And like for me, I'm not like crazy like that, but like in terms of being verbally expressive, I definitely am in that manner. And I learned that it's like I'm a little bit too much at times with people. Like I need to calm down with how I like make jokes like with people that I don't know too well. And I'm just like trying to learn that because like I said, I was very like to myself and I held a lot back. But to answer your question, yes, those characters are me. It's just an amplified version. Like I mentioned with like the subcultures of like being Chicano, or I did like a Southern character one time. But like that's just all like content that I have consumed and I have knowledge of, and yeah, it's just like an amplified version of subsections of cultures that I know, and I just spin it off in my own humor.
Do you spend a lot of time writing out your what you do before you record it, or is it all improvised, or how do you approach it?
I'm definitely not an organized person at all. Like when Russell did the Zoom with me, I was like, this date today is going to stick in my head. And I had no planner for it. I just knew April 25th. But in general, no, I don't write. I improvise a lot of things. I know this is like out there, but like when I dream and I do like structure things in my dream. And then when I wake up, I will jot little things on like my phone on the notes, and just thinking about whether it's a skit or for the show, I will write out certain like keynotes, but that's rare though. It usually just stays in my head, and then I try to do as fast as possible, even though I shouldn't, because it can leave my head, but I just try to act on as fast as I can.
Do you have a series of recurring characters?
So growing up, I used to watch a lot of Cholo adventures by this YouTuber named Super Ego, and also this one comedian named Frankie Quinones. I watched his show and met him recently, and I was freaking out. Like, that's one of my role models right there. But like, I have this character named Samurai Cholo, and when I was a child, I did try to do my own spin-off of the Cholo humor, but since I'm part Asian, I just try to do like a little like Fu from the East type of feel, you know? Because it's okay to, like, since they're doing a Cholo character, it's okay that I do a Cholo character as long as it's unique to me. That's what matters, and it's not like I'm trying to be exactly like them. I just want to do my own spin on the subculture of being a funny Cholo. Yeah.
He has a skit where he's wearing like a white tank top, like a wife beater, but there's like a samurai sword, right? I saw that. I was like, oh, there's a sword. Like he has a sword.
Yeah. I forgot to mention that like as a kid, my friend and I would try to make those samurai Cholo skits, and he was the samurai Cholo, and the continuity was off because he was just Mexican. But I was just too scared to be in front of the camera, so I was just the cameraman. And then we stopped that. We're just kids at the time, just heavily influenced by YouTube, just trying to make fun stuff. But then, not till recently, when I wanted to actually create my own videos, I was like, why don't I give this another shot and just have fun with it? And I'm having fun.
Diego, we ask each guest to bring an item of significance with them. What did you bring with you today?
It's in my butt. Okay, so like I said, I did martial arts for a long time, and this was like, so I did Taekwondo, and they do like first degree, second degree black belts. So I think this was like my second degree black belt test, and this was me like knocking or almost knocking out a kid. I was like 12 or 13 years old at the time. And everybody was just like eyeing me down, like, why did you do that? Like, this is only sparring. And then I remember my...
Can I see that?
Yeah. That's just one photo, though. And I remember my... we didn't say sensei because that's Taekwondo's Korean. Yeah. We said... we just called each other... Shoot. I would just call him Mr. Wilson. Or yes, sir, no, sir. That's how I would address my higher up. And his name was Mr. Wilson. And then I remember he looked at me in the moment. He was like, I'm disappointed of you. Why did you hurt him like that? And then after all the parents left, he said, damn, you kicked his ass. And I was like, that's what's up, you know? And this was me doing like a no-look jump side kick. And then I kicked his face like without even looking at him. That was pretty cool too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so honestly, I felt like I could have definitely taken martial arts seriously and be like a featherweight or something, but wasn't something that I wanted to do because I was pretty good at it. I was very agile and flexible, and I had really good footwork.
Yeah, that's cool. Thanks for bringing those in. I get this sense that, and correct me if I'm wrong, like you want the world to actually see you and see you for who you are and your for your skills and your talents and all that. Do you have that sense inside of you, or are you wanting people to see and know parts of you that they may not?
I think right now, through the videos that I make, whether it's everything that I make, I love comedy, and my intention is to make comedic things. But the things that I've experienced in the past, like basketball, golf, martial arts, Kumon, every little thing, I make those things known through my work. And it's hard to say like my work because I have such a fun time doing it, but technically it is my work. And I let those things be known through the videos I create from my past experiences. And I just try to make a comedy out of it. Mm-hmm.
I have a question. How did you overcome your fear of being in front of the camera? Because that's still something that I experience. I don't like the being in front of the camera, but that's a real challenge, right? But
yeah,
you seem very comfortable now. But how did you do that?
You know, it's like I said, with just trying to be present and telling myself, like my subconscious mind, just telling myself like just to calm down. And that's something that's just very powerful because it's not like you guys are here to like talk down on me or anything. It's all just a mind game, like golf. You know, that's a lesson that I learned from golf. Like, you have so many different situations, and it just depends how you treat it and what you make out of it. And you have the power to either freak out and have a meltdown and cry like a little baby, or put it on your back and really experience a new adventure and grow from an experience. And I think that's what really makes me comfortable, because every situation, no matter what degree of like whether it's good or bad, is an opportunity to grow. And I'm not trying to sound like a monk or anything, but it's true to me, and that's what puts me at peace.
What's important to you at this point? Is it your college studies, or is it getting 3 posts per week, or
yeah, no, I get
how
you.
do you rate these things?
Yeah, as a person that's fortunate for my parents to be paying for my college tuition, I have a lot less stress in life, but I do enjoy what I study for school, but I think, well, of course I focus on my assignments, but I really do enjoy content creation, and it's something that I necessarily, I would say it's like a 60-40 thing of content creation, because that's what's going through my mind all the time. Like, oh, what's the next like skit I can do, or whether it's next skit or whatever creative idea. I'm always thinking about that, and then school's kind of, it shouldn't be second, but like I get my stuff done, and also it's nice that my degree is kind of infused in what I do already, because of like e-commerce, for example. When you scroll through TikTok, Instagram, you're able to buy a product that you like, whether it's like, for example, me doing a skit for a brand, you know, and those things mesh together, which is good. I resonate with both things. And
are you able to monetize your social media work?
Actually, I had some flags on my account saying that like, oh, this isn't appropriate enough, and then I get I can't monetize it. But I have gotten free stuff from brands, and I got stuff from a hot sauce company. That was like the biggest thing.
Oh, that's the stuff you're making your guests eat.
Yeah.
Is it really hot?
Oh, Yucateco sauce is cool. The thing is that I give them the ghost habanero one. So like that's the spiciest thing. Like that brings me to tears, and it for the average person, they just cry too. So it's just a reaction thing, yeah, that I use for my guests.
how do you convince them to eat it? Like, you're like, oh, this is gonna be part of the show, or you just surprise them with it?
It depends on the person. Let me just manipulate somebody real quick to cry on camera. No, I'll just say like I'll just beg them to do it. Like, please, for the bit, like, you're gonna love this, and then I'll wink at them, But then they're in hell as soon as it touches their taste buds. It's good though. It's flavorful. It's just, of course, spicy. It's like eating very hot like Thai food. Or like anything, whatever is spiciest to you.
Well, habanero and ghost pepper is pretty spicy. The stuff you took for your son was like 2 levels, maybe, more above that. You took him, I think Carolina Reaper, right? The hottest stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah.
Have you had
heard
that,
of that,
Diego?
No, but I know if I were to have that, I would have, I don't know if you know what the waterfalls are, but I would get the waterfalls when you go to the restroom and you can't stop pooping in liquid forms. Not to get graphic, sorry. It's disgusting.
Have you ever had to use your taekwondo to defend yourself? Like in a real fight?
Yeah, in like 3rd grade, definitely. I remember choking out a kid until the campus supervisors separated us. And then my mom came to pick me up. It was after school when I was waiting for my mother to pick me up. And then they separated us, and then I went to the principal's office like the day after. And then I got the same thing that like Mr. Wilson told me, because I was getting bullied. And I was just out of my pure reactions at the time as a kid, anger tempered kid to throw hands. And the principal said good stuff for kicking his ass. And
really?
Yeah, I'm not a fighter though. Like, I'm really like, I will verbally attack somebody now, but I would definitely wouldn't physically fight anybody now. I'm pretty skinny. Yeah, I have a small frame.
Yeah, that's so did your parents put you in taekwondo for that reason, or did you ask them?
I think they put me in because my brother was in there, and it was just probably just another opportunity to bond, and also just not have us at the house the whole day, of course. I did taekwondo on Holt Avenue. I don't know if you're familiar with Holt in Pomona. It's kind of like Figueroa Street in LA, kind of equivalent. I wouldn't say, like, it looks a little rundown. I don't know how much crime happens there, but like if I were to walk on Holt Avenue in Pomona at night, like I feel kind of safe. But that's just because I live there. If you guys were to walk down Holt at night, you probably would want to go back to your car. And there's a lot of prostitution there, pimps. I don't know about like gang violence, but there are like a lot of like stealings and mild crime there. So I did martial arts like out in the concrete jungle a little bit. Yeah.
Wow.
I remember doing push-ups on the sidewalk. It was definitely character carving.
Well, it's definitely telling that your story from 3rd grade was choking out this kid who was bullying you, and then also your pictures of kicking that guy in the face and knocking him out. Like,
yeah, I was definitely silent but deadly. Yeah, I wasn't the most extroverted then, but I definitely had the fists.
And how are you as a basketball player?
I'm 5'6" 3/4", so I don't think I can excel to the NBA. But when I played basketball in high school, I was mentally weak then. So I had the mechanics, but I always folded under pressure, unfortunately, because I didn't have the best team. And it was we're teenage boys at the same time. So I understand like the greed with this guy's playing more than me. I'm worrying more about that instead of our team winning. And growing up, I've always been very disciplined and like do whatever the coach says. I guess that's very like martial arts and golf driven. But like basketball, it's more ego oriented. And I had a lot of my team members just talk down on me, and I should have took as an opportunity to put it on my back and like prove them wrong, right? But at the time I didn't. I just let them do the best of me. And like, that's my own team. Like, your own team members shouldn't be talking down on you. Like, you should be focused on working together and winning as a whole.
Did you play varsity?
No, so I had COVID happen during high school. I played freshman and JV, and then after that I was just like, I'm done with you little shits. Like, they're so toxic. They're little toxicos for real. Yeah, I just had enough with those people that I was playing with, and it's not like they're like bad to the bone or anything. Like, they're really bad people, but they're just, at the time, they just were just teenagers, just being ignorant. And I had some pretty soft skin back then, so I let it take over my mindset, and I wasn't doing too well. So I played golf all 4 years of high school, and I played varsity all 4 years, and I was a
So
league
what would
champion.
you shoot? Yeah, what would be a score? What's your handicap?
Handicap?
Or, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say now, but at my peak, I wasn't necessarily like right at scratch, but I was like pretty close, like at a
You could
1
shoot
point
par.
something. Yeah, I was able to shoot like even par.
That's pretty good.
But the thing is that like I said, like I wasn't really the best, like the strongest mentally back then. So like breaking things like going under par was like impossible in my head. Even though I would always get so close, I would shoot myself in the foot like during tournaments and always doubt myself. And that's something that I'm really not proud of. But I would always find a way to shoot myself in the foot somehow.
But actually, now that I think about it, even par, boy, that's a great game to be able to shoot par.
Simple golf is the best golf.
And that means you're good at approach shots, you're good at putting.
I was a bit of like an all-around. Yeah, I didn't hit the furthest, but like for my size, I can
pretty
hit
solid.
pretty far. Like,
wow.
almost
I don't think
300.
I've ever shot anything better than, in the 90s maybe,
It's a hard sport, but
God,
fortunately,
yeah.
I was very coordinated as a kid, so I picked up the mechanics very fast.
Do you golf, Russell?
No.
Have you ever?
So this is an interesting thing. So I've trained multiple professional golfers, champion golfers.
Oh dear. Yeah.
But in strength.
Oh.
I don't golf. And their golf coaches appreciate that because I'm never trying to adjust their swing or anything, right? And so to answer your question, I went on a par 3 once, and twice. And I hit a birdie.
Nice.
Wow.
On a par 3. And I was like jumping up and down, and like, my golf friends were like, you don't do that. Don't pretend like it happens all the time, right?
Yeah.
But I'm the kind of person where I don't want to. I want to be good at something, and I don't want to suck. And to not suck at golf would require so much time, and
So
I just
much
can't.
time.
Yeah.
So much time, I swear. Fortunately, skill-wise, as a kid, that's why my father took me out almost every day. Just like my body was just able to adapt to it. So like it never really left the mechanics, really left my body, and it's just easy for me to transfer to any physical activity, to be honest.
Well, Diego, you have a sense of self that I would say some people in their adulthood don't achieve, and you have that at a very young age where you're able to look at yourself and give yourself an honest assessment, and that I would say that's pretty unique with anybody, but certainly someone with at your age.
Thank you.
We're going to move on to I want to learn more about what you have in store for your show, and some of the skits that maybe you're thinking of, but let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Sometimes, even the best of us can slip up. That's why the law offices of Scott Wormuth are here to pick you back up again.
And while they strive to get you the biggest compensation possible, oh my gosh!
Their main concern is your health and recovery. They work closely with doctors and insurance companies to make sure you get the proper medical treatment.
Initial consultations are free, so give them a call.
At the law offices of Scott Wormuth, we're with you all the way.
I'm Scott Wormuth. We've been fighting for your rights for more than 40 years.
All right, we're back with Diego. Diego, before the break, we were talking about your skits in your show, and Scott was checking out some of those. When we come back, we like to ask questions from this deck of cards called Icebreakers, and it's just for the audience to get to know us a little bit better. So here we go. What's the thing you like that creeps other people out?
That I like. Well, the first thing that popped up in my head was food. So I love trying new foods. Like, I'm a foodie down to the bone, and I'm sure you've seen on my Instagram posts. Like, I'm always posting like a new spot, mainly in the SGV for the most part. And recently, I tried chicken heart, chicken liver, and chicken gizzard yakitori.
Delicious, yeah.
I really like the liver. Heart was respectable. I definitely got tired of it because it was a little soft, and then the gizzard was interesting, but I still liked it. Yeah, not a lot of people like gizzard or any of those things.
Yeah. Awesome. I couldn't eat those, but you said it sounds delicious.
Oh, I like all those.
It's a texture thing. That's
Really?
Yeah.
You eat heart? Where do you get heart? You buy
Only
heart
at
a store?
No. Only at a yakitori place.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
You can get a like hot pot, but like basically like any like, I guess, Asian or like ethnic restaurant, I guess.
Yeah. I've only had it at a yakitori place, and it was like grilled over charcoal, and it had this like sweet soy type sauce, and it was pretty good. Yeah.
If prepared properly. Yeah.
Well, interesting. One of my things that creep people out, it was also food, and it's natto. It's a Japanese fermented soybean. Have you ever had that?
I think I've heard of it. I haven't had it.
So I call it brain food, but it actually has and I think it's a vitamin. It's called natto kinase, and it's so helps support brain health. I believe.
Is it the little sticky stuff, right?
Sticky is an understatement. It's like super slimy, super slimy, and the smell puts people off.
Did you say it's a soybean?
Fermented soybean.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're whole. It's not like a miso, and they're like slimy. So like the more you mix it, the more slimy it gets. It really puts people off. But I enjoyed that when I was little over just hot rice, and I still enjoy it today. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I would think of something also eating related, but not in what I eat, but the way I eat.
Oh, okay. Does it creep people out?
It just like to me, it's not creepy, but I would lick the dishes, or I remember one time when I was married, and I didn't want my wife to have any of the ice cream, so I spit on it.
Oh,
that way she wouldn't eat it. See, and only I could eat it. I mean, it just like I have bad habits when it comes to eating style, I guess.
Interesting. I remember someone got upset with you because they told you not to touch their food, and then you touched their salmon.
That's right, and I couldn't believe somebody. I thought it was like a joke, So I intentionally touched it, and then it was like, that night was ruined. And yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I just like to eat so much. Almost everything I do revolves around food, I would think.
Oh dear, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say not everything, but I do love my food.
Yeah.
Well, if you are listening to this show or watching on YouTube, what's the thing that you like that creeps other people out? Let us know in the comments. So, Diego, your show, I always look forward to see if you're going to post a new clip, and they're always funny. What do you have in store for your show?
Right now, I don't have a strict schedule because I don't want to be letting anybody on there. And so I keep on trying to reach out to different like creators on Instagram, because I do know quite a few people that are characters, like I told you with the I have a friend that's like a witch, and she's also like a very knowledgeable sexual orgy person, and she sees like energies and stuff. So like those are kind of people that I want to get, or anything like
she's an actual witch. She identifies as a witch.
Yeah, she writes spells in the playbook and all that stuff. Like it's interesting. And I remember when I was interviewing, her name is Isis, and I was just like poking around. Like, I remember I said, like, oh, do you talk to little spooky ghosts? And then she said, yeah, I helped a kid like pass to the other side. And I was like, oh, what was the kid's name? And then she said Mary. And then I was just saying stupid things like, Mary had a little lamb. And but like she was talking to me like she was serious. So that is definitely people that I want to get that are like out there.
How long have you known the witch?
I'd say like a couple years. Oh, no, like a few years or so.
She is really. I mean, there is just a whole. I don't know, a discipline of witches. I forget what they're called, but it's almost like a religion.
Oh, I don't know. Is it Satanism? Or
I
no,
don't think it's
type...
Satanism. No, I think that's something different.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I forgot the name.
Yeah. Is she like that? I mean.
Yeah, she's pretty like, not like, I guess kind of strict to the book. She does dedicate her time to those her belief system, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just want to get like people that are characters. I don't really care if I'm not looking for the next like person with the biggest followers, because they're not always the like people you think. Like, they can be very dry once you actually meet them. I try to get this one guy. His entertainer name is like Glock 30K, and he's a part of like this reality TV show with this popular comedian named Drewski. And I was like, oh, he seems like a character that I would like to interview, because he's out there. That's what I want, and I want to make it playful and make it be kind of outlandish. But then when I actually reached out to him, he was so unorganized. I was like, this guy doesn't have a goddamn job, and he doesn't know how to really absorb these topics. So like, not everybody that you think can give you a bigger audience is always a good option. So I want to stay to people that, like, of course they can have a big following if they do, but I want to stick to people that like are really like genuinely like interesting and out there, like the witch. And I have a buddy that's like, his dad, one of my best friend's dads, he's like literally Santa, and he is actually Santa. Like, every day, Santa persona, and it's just like who he really is. I'm like, dang, you really are Santa. His name is Santa Brent. Shout out to him. That's like my sensei, and he was actually my old basketball coach in high school.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's definitely like a top earner Santa in the area.
What do you mean he's a Santa? He actually like
he is Santa.
Dresses as Santa?
Of course during Christmas time he's booked for like any kind of Santa related event, and during the summer he has a Santa outfit, and even when he's like just dressed up casually, he's always dressed into some type of Santa attire or Christmas beard.
Wow,
spirit.
that's interesting. Does he have a beard that's his real beard?
It's his real beard. He's bald.
Santa-like?
Yeah.
Wow.
He has a nice belly. He's about, I don't know how tall Santa is in the lore, but he's about 5'10". He looks like Santa.
No, I know somebody you should try to get for your show. My nephew was telling me that his son goes to school, a junior high school, and there was a student there who got all kinds of special treatment because she sexually identified as a bee.
Dang,
so
like seriously?
A bee. Like seriously. And
Dang.
they had to take her seriously because this is how she identified.
Interesting.
Yeah. You want that person?
Yeah, I mean, like, I get, in that realm, that definitely might put me in some fire if I go about it the wrong way, but that can definitely be something that could be executed well, if they have tough skin. That's why I want to make sure people have tough skin, because I like the jokes that I make can fly over the average person's head because I like to do deadpan. That's why I said I like Zach Galifianakis.
Mm-hmm.
He like dominates on his awkward ability to do comedy, and he's very comfortable at making fun of himself, and I'm pretty comfortable at doing the same things. A lot of his like kind of style I really look up to, and I feel like I kind of match with the most, not entirely, but yeah, like Zach Galifianakis is definitely like a comparison.
He
of
had a
what I like.
series called like Two Trees. Or
Yeah,
something, right?
definitely. I wanted to do like
That was
my own
funny,
show.
wasn't
Yeah,
it?
Between Two Ferns.
Was that what it was?
But the cool thing is that like now podcasting is such a useful tool because you can have your education podcast, you have your guys' podcast telling people stories, but like in the sense of comedy, it's a new form of like entertainment. Like instead of doing, you kind of get the same feel with like stand-up and comedy podcasts now, like the same kind of just like genuine laughter. Yeah, like podcasting is evolving, and I want to kind of make this like a combination of like the new generation. Like Bobby Lee has Tiger Belly, and although it's not stand-up comedy, it's like a constant flow of good energy and poking at each other. But also you have shows like Between Two Ferns, which is like not a podcast, but it's like, and not necessarily like an actual full-length show. It's more like a skit. It's like a mixture, but I want to like bridge like both worlds of like a podcast feel and a comedy sit-down show.
Do you have a podcast now?
No, it's basically like on YouTube, so it's more like just a show, like comedy show. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was wondering, like you like to mess with your guests a lot, so that's why they have to have thick skin, right?
Yeah, that was just me growing up. Like I think I definitely get it from my dad. My dad likes to just mess around with people all the time. And it was just more like my dad's like, if you can't handle it, just walk away, because he'll always be poking at like playing golf, poking at his friends all the time, like, oh, like that little swing right there is gonna make you go straight to the pond or whatever. Like he would just always be dogging on people, and some people would be too sensitive, and some wouldn't. But I definitely get like the reactionary stuff. I guess kind of like a crowd work feel and stand up. I get that kind of feel doing the show, and I get it from my dad, I would say, just poking at people on the spot. Mm-hmm. Just that clap back, just but with an insult.
Well, I enjoyed the skits. I hope to see you integrate some more with basketball and comedy, because that's always fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like basketball is so much easier. I don't know. I just feel like I did that one skit, and it was just like different plays. And I remember I went to sleep one night, and I just dreamt about it, like the concepts of it, like, oh, I'm going to make a skit, and I'm going to do a few plays, and one of them will be called Swamp Ass, where I'm the point guard, and I pass it to my big man, and then the big man uses whatever dominant hand, scoops from the low regions, and then throws back the stench at their defender, and then gets a free layup because they're open, of course. And just thinking of like stupid little things that like go on through my head, like those stupid shower thoughts, and making them into actual like skit is what's very satisfying to me. And actually doing it, because like everybody has those thoughts that they sit on, but now I just really want to like do, if it's a like genuine good thought, of course, not all of them are good, but like I just want to focus on doing and just being assertive.
Do you have a team helping you, or?
No, I'm poor.
So how do you film it all?
I ask friends, and I find whatever way that works, whether it's investing in like certain tripods or just asking people to help me. That's the thing. It's hard to get people that are genuinely invested into your stuff, of course, just like with anything. But I do find I always put the mentality, I will find a way to do this, and it's going to happen. Although I'm not the most organized person, I know that if I put my mind to something, I will do it. And yeah, that's my mentality.
That's awesome. Well, Diego, we're going to move on to the final segment of the show, where we get to learn little bit more about you and what you like in the SGV. All right, Diego, this is what we call the SGV3. And we get to hear your 3 favorite places or experiences in the San Gabriel Valley. So what's number 1?
This is so hard, but my friend and I love trying new foods in the SGV like 1 to 2 times a week. I'd say number 1 on the list would be Chubby Cattle in Rowland Heights. Okay. That is like a secret society in there. I'm not going to lie. I opened up the doors. I was like, holy cow, this is a legit like high budget restaurant. And I remember my friend told me that in Rowland Heights specifically, because that's closest to me, that they had a soft opening recently and that they were only letting like influencers in there to try their stuff. And so when I managed to actually get a spot to eat there, and they're very strict, like 90 minutes, but it's still worth it though, like bottomless Wagyu beef and like sashimi, bottomless as well. And for about $50 or so for bottomless Wagyu and other premium stuff, like that's so delicious. And as a foodie myself, like it's a mind blower to just get it on a somewhat affordable budget. Yeah, definitely.
Is that where you were shooting the content recently? Because I was like, oh, he's going to these like barbecue type places, but I didn't know where they were from.
One of them was Chubby Cattle. Yeah, I definitely I eat a lot of Korean barbecue. And I just got into hot pot recently, and I love Japanese food, of course. Like Japanese is on the top, but on my second list, I would say Frankenstein's. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Frankenstein's, but it's a collectibles.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. It's also in center. City of Industry, isn't it?
Yeah, or La Puente, City of Industry.
It's like it's borderline. On Gale or something.
Yeah,
on
it
Gale.
Is.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I was like, I feel like I formed almost like a gambling addiction with Pokemon cards, like that feeling of like the gotcha, opening up a new thing. Okay, give me the next pack. Frankenstein's was a place for me to collect Pokemon cards, sell them. And I remember when I first brought my thick folder, I would buy Pokemon cards from the swap meet, take them over and think that they're worth a lot, right? But they're fake. And that was the first time like I took something to like a reseller and they're like, a quarter of your like folder is fake of Pokemon cards. And I was like, I did have some good stuff in there though. But it was definitely like a place, a little safe haven for me to enjoy my other interests of like trading cards, Pokemon, anime. I was very influenced by anime as a kid. And Yu-Gi-Oh, all the card games. Mm-hmm.
Cool, awesome.
And then my third one, I would say it's an event in downtown Pomona. The Art Walk in downtown Pomona. It's every second Saturday, and it's just a place where I can enjoy my city, where it's most active at night, and people are setting up their little vending spots. There's a lot of shows that go on. A lot of teenagers like to go to the Haven. It's like where they have a small venue. They have a lot of shows that go on, and there's other little venues there. But the main thing is just a form of a creative community, because there are a lot of artists out in Pomona, and there's so many art galleries and food stands going on. And I just want to shout out like one of the council members that's in charge of creating those events. His name is Victor Preciado, and I really respect him because he really tries to accommodate to the community. Like, I'm a skater, and he really tries to hear the people that skate in Pomona, and he'll like he has made events with like skate shops doing events within downtown Pomona to make things more fun in the city.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for sharing those. Those are 3 unique SGV3s, which doesn't happen that often. Yeah, but that's really cool. Yeah, thank you for sharing.
What do people usually answer with? Like their dentist, their barber shop?
No. Like sometimes there'll be something that has been said before, like a restaurant or a location, and which is not bad. It just reaffirms that that's a special place here. Mm-hmm. So it's always unique when someone has their own unique SGV3. It's always appreciated. So
thank you.
Yeah, those are all firsts.
Okay, cool.
So, Diego, if people want to check out your content or get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
I post all the time on Instagram, my first and last name all together, of course, Diego Lojero. No underscores or numbers. Yeah, mainly Instagram. I do post all my full-length videos for the Obinyaki show on YouTube. And I do need a editor, so please, if you're watching, if you're an editor, hit me up, because I would like higher quality videos, of course.
The Obinyaki show.
Obinyaki.
Yeah, on YouTube. Awesome. Well, Diego, thank you for coming here today and sharing your story with us. We do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Well, there you go. Another episode in the books. I really enjoyed that conversation, to hear someone on a journey to, really come out from what could have been a really, negative situation or was a negative situation, and really growing and finding themselves and pursuing the things that they enjoy. One of the things that really struck me was just his awareness of self. And because that's something that I've only come to know, in my 40s, of how important that is. And then to see that in someone else, especially so young, it's really, really powerful. Well, if you enjoyed this type of content, please consider subscribing, and please consider becoming a patron of our show. Check out our Patreon, where we offer bonus content and some other goodies there. Your support for this show is deeply appreciated, so check out the different tiers there. You can get a shout out for the lowest tier, and some higher tiers where we can connect on a more intimate level on Google Meets or even Instagram Live. So please become a patron of the show. As always, you can check out our full catalog of episodes on our website, mysgv.net. And until next week, we'll see you then.
Thank you for joining us on the MySGV podcast. Check out more of our content on our website, mysgv.net. This show was produced by Russell Mono and edited by Victoria Allers of Kind Monster Productions. If you'd like to join us next week as we capture and share more stories from our diverse community, feel welcome.
Nice mother. No, kind mother.